Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the barrio coming back at you with another video for your butt. Now I'm going to share some binder tips with you guys, okay? So today, I got my 2024 Topps cards right here. This pack, a hanger box I opened yesterday, and these are some packs I have opened up in the past, so I already had these in order. So this is just a tutorial sharing my tips. I've gotten a few requests for this, believe it or not, the last few days. So I'm going to show you guys how I put my sets together and how I keep them safe in binders. So, you know, the sets now, they come in series. When I was collecting in the 80s, they weren't in series. So now series 1 is, and then there's series 2. So I can only put series 1 together, which something I normally don't do. I wait till I got series 1 and series 2 together before I do this. But first thing I do is I separate my card by 50s. Now, if you want to know what I mean by 50s, you know, every card number, I separate them by the 50s. And I'll put like 1 through 49 here, 50 through 99, then 100 through 149. And just to give you guys a visual, I'm going to put some aids down real quick. So these are just some visual aids. I don't need them anymore, but like 71 goes right here, 50 through 99. So like I said, you know, it's the 50s, stuff like that. So card number 43 will go right here. Card 128 will go right here. So all the hundreds underneath 50 here, all the hundreds in the 50s and above here. So that's what I start doing. And that's how I start separating my cards by the 50s. Okay, so just a little something so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. You know, eventually you do this enough times, you don't need these visual aids. Like I said, these are visual aids just to kind of help you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, and so that's what I start doing. You know, and like I said, one of the things when you prepare your workspace depends on the set you're putting together. Because if I was putting my complete set together where it's already like 792 cards, I need to make enough space for 700 cards. But for right now, for only 350, because it's series 1, this is the only space I need. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna finish this up, and so also too, like once I get like into these like inserts and stuff, I start making their own piles. I'm not too familiar with the back, so I just go by the backs and start putting them down. Okay, so I'll finish this up and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so I got them all separated into the 50s. Now I'm going to make some more space, and I'm going to separate each 50 by the 10s. All right, since these aren't very many cards, you know, so you got like, you know, 318. So you do like 10s. You got 330. You're going to do like the 3s. You got 321. You do the 20s. 328 to the 20s. 311 into the 10s. 310 into the 10s. Then you just get all those real quick and put those in order. 318. All right, so you got to commit to the side that you're doing 321, 328, and then 330. So this could be the back end to that. And if you decide to start with the first ones, okay, 332, 333, 349, 343. All right. If you decide to start with the bottom numbers, you put it this side up and then continue, you know, upside up. But if you're going to start with the end, you put the last ones in upwards and you continue. So for this sake, real quick, we're going to keep going with this one. And then I'll put all these in order in this direction and stack them up there. So now I got to integrate my new pile with my old pile, which is why I normally don't do this. I wait till I have as many cards as I can before I go through this. But this is just for educational purpose, so I'm doing this right now. So the next card I have here is 330. So I'll just go through the bigger pile until I get where that card goes in. 333, 332, 324. The 330 goes in there. And I'll put that in. And then the next card available is 329, which goes next also. So I'll put that in. The next card is 328. It goes before this card. So, you know, that goes in, and so on and so on. until you integrate all these cards. Okay, 321, 321. So, all right, so this is what I'm going to be doing next, okay? So I'm getting down towards the end of it, and personally, for me, I love doing this. I enjoy doing this, but I mean, if you don't, I'm trying to give you some tips on how to make it less work. And, I guess I can understand if you sometimes find it annoying putting this stuff together, but I love it. Personally, I just love it. And I'm just trying to give you guys some tips on making it easier. All right. So there you go. This is all the cards that I have from the base set in order. And then all the inserts and whatever stuff, I got those in order too. Now the next step is putting them in the binder. So real quick for the next step, you need a fresh new binder. You're gonna need some 9-page sleeves to put the cards in. You might need an old magazine just to throw in there. I prefer Beckett. And optional, which I recommend, is the 1 pocket page sleeve. So these are some of the supplies you might need to properly store your binders. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so obviously you're gonna want to start with card number 1. All right, so when I was a kid, I had this habit of putting my cards in the pages. Ooh, got a double right here of Acuna. Go see what the back of this one. This is number 3, so it goes over here. Obviously, I don't have number 2. All right, I used to have this habit of putting these cards in. Wow, this is number 9 already. In the binder, in the pages while in the binder. Well, as I grew older, kind of figured out, well, you don't have to. I sometimes I do this in my car. I would do this like on a couch. And what I learned to be more comfortable is I was more comfortable with taking the pages out. All right. Putting this away. And just putting the cards in while I hold the page. I felt like I had way, way more control over this. So that's what I started doing, because you have way more control doing it this way. So my last card is 27. So let's talk about putting them inside the pages. So if you notice, I put these cards in, and then I had a whole blank spot. I knew that the next card did not go into that page. And because it's Mike Trout, card 27. And I knew that the third page ends with 27. As a seasoned person who's been putting things in binders, the first page, the last card is going to end in 9. The second page, last card is going to end in 8. The last page, the next card is going to end in 7. So I knew this was going to be the end of that card. And so on and so on. The next one is going to end in 6. Let's get into that. Okay, I've gone up to 100. So the first card will always end up in 9. The last corner card. Then the next one, which I don't have a complete empty, ends in 8. The next one is going to end in 7. The next one, if I had it, would end in 6. The next one would end in 5. The next one ends in 4. And so on till you reach 100. And another tip is, once you reach into the hundreds, card number 100 will be the first on the page. So Garrett Cole has card 100, and it's the first one on that page. All right, so I'm on card right now 199. So like I said, and one of those tips like keeping your progress is now 200 would be the second card on the page. But I don't have 200. I have 202, so it'd be 200, 201, 202. And when you do these, you know, these pages, they have like a thing you can flip up. Make sure you flip them up. Before, they used to go all the way to the top, which would damage your cards. But now they can go all the way to the top, so it gives you that opportunity to slip them in there without damaging it. So slip it in nice and soft. All right, so I made it up to almost 300. This is 299. So the next card will be 300, which would be the number 3 spot. So like I said, every 100 wise, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. I mean, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Unfortunately, I don't have 300. I have 303 next, but I know 300 would be here. 1, 2, 3. So this goes here. Oh, what am I doing? All right. So just a tip on keeping yourself in check, at least every 100 wise. All right, guys. So I got these in binder pages, and these are all my doubles. Okay, so now we have the cards in the binder, but now storing them is probably the most important part. If you look at this binder, since it's only a half a set, there's no way I can store this like this. That's a no-no. Your average binder is meant to hold 800 cards. And this is, not nowhere near that. So let's talk about that. Here, I got a set of the 1985 Topps. And this is a 792 card set. So it's roughly about 8 cards short of being 800. But it's still that little gap here that bothers me, because you want this to be parallel from the bottom to the top. So my answer to that is always I prefer Beckett, put a magazine on top, and it makes a world of difference. Let me tell you how. When you go to put your binder into your other binders, and you're going to slide it in, you're going to have other binders rubbing on this side and this side. So when you slide it into where it goes, this has a tendency to go back like this. And what just happened? Did you guys see? Well, look at that. Oh, there goes my beer. These cards right here slid. So you're going to ruin this card right here. Who is that? Dude, that's Nolan Ryan. You're going to ruin a Nolan Ryan card. So once it goes in like that, that card right there over time is going to fold, bend, bow, whatever. You want it to stay flat like this. So look at that. Look at the difference when putting in a thin little magazine like this, okay? You put that in, so when you slide it in, the magazine will slide a little bit, but the cards won't. That'll keep your cards nice, crisp, and tight. So that's where these guys come in, the one pocket magazine page. Okay, if you prefer to go that route, let me show you why. This is my 1958 set. You see all that space? You want this page to be like this. All right, but like this, these cards, when you put them up right side up, they're going to sag because they got all that space. They're going to sag. So to prevent that, you could put the magazines loose, or you could put a couple of magazines in those comic book holders, and they'll fit in there nicely. You put that in right there. They fit in there nicely. And now you have these, protected, and now you're parallel, and you won't have to worry about that sag, and those cards will stay nice and crisp. So just make sure, magazine or not, man, when you put these in, your binders in, just make sure you hold them tight all the way in. You see, no movement. Because if you don't hold them tight, man, you just slip it in, look what happens. You see? That's what you don't want. You don't want one of the pages to flop out and bend your cards. All right? Just hold it in tight, man. With the magazine or without one. Just hold it in tight and you're going to be fine. And you're going to love your binders. So, I mean, if you have to, make yourself a little cheat sheet like this. You know what I mean? It's easy. The last card on the first page should end with 9. Next one should be 18, 27, 36. Then we come up with this, the way I do my math in my head, the next card is going to be 9 cards later. So 45 plus 10 is 55. Minus 1 to make a 9 should be 54. Plus 10 minus 1 should be 63. Plus 10 will make it 73 minus 1, 72. And so on and so on. You know, I wish that they did make binders with like this on the end of the binder, but you could do it yourself, man. You don't have to rely on other people. You could just make yourself a little cheat sheet that you could, you know, tape on the end of a binder as you're putting your cards in there, you know, or just to keep handy while you're putting your cards in the pages. Okay. So remember, keep your binders nice and tight, and you don't got to worry about that stuff, man. Love the hobby. Just keep collecting baseball cards forever, ese. Ciao! Just a little side note, man. This 1958 set, I gave myself 5 years to do it. It ended up taking me 10. Just don't give up, man. All right? It's all achievable. Just keep your own pace. Do it what you like. Do it any way you like, as long as you feel comfortable. All right? Love the hobby. Keep collecting baseball cards forever. I say, ciao.